Hello.
Hola.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us to our latest Twitch stream called Quadralogue.
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 That echo, though. Wow. It's like we rehearsed it. We didn't, though. Because that's the whole point of tonight's stream. For those of us that have never seen Quadralogue before, you're in for the most intense game of telephone you've ever seen. And I'm going last, and I'm very nervous. So instead, I'm going to ask Brizo, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm doing quite well because I'm going first, which is the easiest part of this.
I'm just going to continue to stall. Tell me.
So I did, I'm not going to tell you yet what it is, but I did select a passage of text by our friend William Shakespeare. And I will be offering that into the space. And then slowly but surely, my fellow vixens here will one at a time try to recount it from memory to one another, ending with Thalassa, who will attempt a word-perfect rendition of this piece. And then I believe at the very end, I will say it once more as written.
I want to check my work. Yeah. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll go swimmingly. I'm very excited about it though. Because for those of you that did not see us do Quadralogue previously, I was in Brizo's position.
If you know what I mean.
Sure. We'll go with it. But yes, I was the one that gave our monologue last time. And slowly but surely, I showed it to Selene, who somehow has auditory photographic memory. I don't know what that is actually called, but I don't know. It was impressive, to say the least. To which then she recited the sonnet that I performed to Athena, who then recited it to Persephone, and it went perfectly.
So well.
My favorite was that Athena did attempt, quite successfully, if I'm honest, to bring it was a sonnet that Thalassa chose for the group, and Athena tried to bring it back to the actual scansion of a sonnet.
In pure Athena fashion.
Exactly. Precisely.
Goodness.
It was a valiant effort. Full of vim. I was watching the stream. I was quite entertained.
If you did not get to watch the stream, I highly recommend you can find it on our YouTube page. And you can watch Athena improvise a sonnet about a thing she doesn't understand. It's grade A.
It's just very in character.
It is pristine, to say the least.
But what I was going to say something about today's... Now I don't remember. Oh, chat. Yes, this is what I was going to say. Chat, this is very important. You are welcome to... is this correct? Tell me if I'm right. Welcome to help, right? The chat is welcome to throw things in, or are you not looking at the chat, the three of you?
I personally do not have the chat up, but if I can cheat, I will absolutely do that.
I will gladly join.
I believe it was part of it last time, or maybe I'm making that up.
I believe I said you can put it in the... I don't know it. I'm going to have to go back and watch the tapes. Because I did either say, you can talk about whatever you want in the chat because they can't see it, or I said, put it in the chat because they can see. I don't remember.
I think some vixens were monitoring the chat, but I do not know necessarily how helpful the chat was being. They were cheering on as it was going.
I'm 100% going to cheat. Therefore, chat, I'm telling you now, I'm cheating and I'm going last. So help a girl out.
Keywords. You know, don't copy paste, but keywords can be thrown in the chat.
I am not going to cheat. mostly because I have too many things happening in order for this stream to be. So I cannot look at the chat. As much as I love you, chat, mwah, sending you kisses. But I have so many things happen. You cannot see. I will take a picture of the behind the scenes of what this looks like at Hippolyta's room.
I do want to say that our friend Luke Stagg said, I won't put random words in at all. So we have some mischief in the chat. Just be prepared for mischief.
I, a chaos muppet, they're my fave.
I feel like as much as I'd like to cheat, I'm a little bit scared to open the chat because I know that I'll be like paying attention to it the entire time, and I'll just the monologue will be just the chat.
Just a recitation of what is currently in the chat.
Exactly.
You know, that's a great future Vixen stream, just a dramatic reading of a previous chat.
Precisely, with a little bit of like elaboration too.
Yes, I like it. It sounds like a wonderful idea.
Thalassa has concerns, ideas?
No, I should have wrote it down. I had an idea similar to that, but I don't remember, and now I'm live and nervous about it. The pressure to perform right now is very strong, if you know what I mean.
So maybe we should begin.
All right. So to lay it out clearly, then, so Melinoe, Hippolyta, and myself are going to mute ourselves. We are going to go away. We are not going to listen. The chat is going to hang out with Brizo as she describes her piece of Shakespeare. And then one of us is going to join her, listen to the monologue. Yes, Hippolyta is going to, I was trying to do no spoilers. I don't know why. Hippolyta is going to join Brizo, where she is going to listen to the monologue one time, to which Melinoe is then going to join, listen to the monologue via Hippolyta one time, and then I'm going to listen to the telephoned version of this piece, and then I'm going to recite it. And it's going to go perfectly.
Perfectly. Brilliantly.
Great. I really hope you chose like to be or not to be or something.
All right, so all of you go away and leave me alone with the chat.
All right. Bye, darlings. Be gentle with her. She hates that.
All right. I think we're alone now, as they say. Hello, chat. I do have the chat open just in case I need to reference you. But this piece that I've decided to bring in, I once actually performed for Athena and Persephone, and I chose it for today because even Athena, our resident scholar, did not immediately recognize it. So it is a monologue from a Shakespeare play that many of us know and love, but the monologue itself is not commonly performed. So this is a monologue from Henry IV, Part 1, and it is our dear friend Hotspur, who is one of my favorite characters in the canon. Boom. This is a letter that Hotspur is reading aloud. So you'll hear sort of the tone of the letter and then Hotspur's actual voice. And there's a lot of repetition in it, which is why I chose it also, in the hopes that some repeated words might help my fellow vixens to understand it. And so with that, I will call forth the first vixen, and I will be performing again. This is from Henry IV, Part 1. It is a letter that Hotspur is reading aloud. It is in prose, not in verse. So I'm also hoping that might help. We'll see. I'm trying to be helpful. All right. Call back. Call back, Hippolyta. Can she see me? It worked.
That's my cue. I was not certain if you were going to do the snappy fan or not.
I was thinking about it. But then I felt like conjuring you felt correct somehow.
I liked it. All right.
So here we are. I don't think I give you any context, correct? I just launch into.
I believe that there was no context given the last time besides knowing it was a sonnet. So all I have to know is it's in a Shakespeare play.
It is from a Shakespeare play.
Great.
And I will do my best. Here we go. But for mine own part, my lord, I could be well contented to be there in respect of the love I bear your house. He could be contented. Why is he not then? In respect of the love he bears our house, he shows in this he loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some more. The purpose you undertake is dangerous, the friends you have named uncertain, the time itself unsorted, and your whole plot too light for the counterpoise of so great an opposition. Say you so. Say you so. I say unto you again, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. By the Lord, our plot is a good a plot as ever was laid, our friends, true and constant, a good plot, good friends, and full of expectation, an excellent plot, very good friends. Is there not my father, my uncle, and myself, Lord Edmund Mortimer, my Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not besides the Douglas? Have I not all their letters to meet me in arms by the 9th of the next month? And are they not some of them set forward already? Ha! You shall see now, in very sincerity of fear and cold heart, will he to the king and lay open all our proceedings. Hang him. Let him tell the king. We are prepared. I will set forward tonight.
All righty then.
It's really quite longer than I recall. It's really quite longer than I recall.
What play is this?
It's from Henry IV, Part 1. It is a letter that Hotspur's reading.
All right.
That helps.
I will endeavor to do this as best I can.
Come back, next person, quickly before it goes away.
There's much in my brain, Melinoe. I shall hopefully expel it.
Is that part of it?
Nope. All right. But for mine something, Lord, he is content. He's not contented with his house, but he should be. Instead, he just likes barns. And I am not cool with that. My lord, I think that when I hang out with my father and my cousin, probably a brother, or a Douglas perhaps, all those things I would like to do. There's something about a hind, which could be perhaps a deer or your butt. I'm not certain, but I remember that. And I shall be excited to do things. Yes, my lord, my lord, my lord. We are prepared. And I will set forth tonight.
Excellent. Well,
I think that was a coherent story.
There were some things in there that were correct. Are we ready to call forth Thalassa already?
I'm so sorry. It was very long.
It was quite long. It was, yes. Oh.
So sorry.
Good luck, Thalassa. I hope the chat helps you.
Yeah, it's your time to shine, chat. Nice.
Okay, ready? I do it now, right? Yes, I do. Oh boy, something. I should really like to hang out with my father and my brother and my cousin. Oh, I don't like barns. I don't like barns, and I don't remember any of this. Okay. I don't like barns. Oh my, oh my, oh my. No, my lord, my lord, my lord. Something about a butt. But Douglas. And I'm done.
This is really too much.
It's fine. Shall I then?
Please.
Please.
I
I wish you would.
A piece by William Shakespeare. Oh boy.
Squeezing like an old man. Oh.
I'm laughing. Okay, I'm crying. Okay, sorry. Oh boy.
This is really out of hand.
I want to do it very dramatic, but I cannot. Ooh. So, oh boy, I should really love to see my father and cousin, maybe an uncle, some sort of familial people.
Yes.
I really do not care for either barns with farm animals in them or buns. I don't know which. We were talking about buzz later, though, so I feel like that might tie in. I'm going to go with buns because I know chat says barns, but I want buns.
I mean, that's fair.
So I do. Well, I guess I do like butts, but you know, for the sake of the scene, I do not like butts right now. And Douglas was there. Maybe he's my uncle. And there's that. According to the chat, there's a house. So, you know.
And scene.
Oh,
okay. I have to say, the chat is actually being quite helpful.
You know, I said help me cheat, and then I realized butts, bonds, and plans.
And plans and Heinz.
And Heinz.
Uncle Owen. Yeah.
Frankly, it feels like they did just put more random words in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
I am
so many things. Oh
man.
You know what I'm impressed by? And I'm going to read it again so that we have it. But I want to say that I'm particularly impressed by Douglas. Douglas made it all the way through.
Job, Douglas.
Also, although Thalassa chose in the end to go for delicious buns, Barn did make it all the way through.
No, to each their own.
To each their own. My lord showed up. That might be it. No. Oh no, the family, uncles and things. That was fairly accurate. Are we ready to hear the piece again?
Please.
oh yes.
For the love of God.
Oh Lord. All right. Here we go. So this is from Henry IV, Part 1. This is a letter that Hotspur is reading aloud. And he says, "But for mine own part, my lord, I could be well contented to be there in respect of the love I bear your house." He could be contented. Why is he not then? In respect of the love he bears our house. He shows in this he loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some more. "The purpose you undertake is dangerous, the friends you have named uncertain, the time itself unsorted, and your whole plot too light for the counterpoise of so great an opposition. Say you so, say you so. Well, I say unto you again, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. By the Lord, our plot is a good plot as ever was laid, our friends true and constant, a good plot, good friends and full of expectation, an excellent plot, very good friends. Is there not my father, my uncle, and myself, Lord Edmund Mortimer, my Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not besides the Douglas? Have I not all their letters to meet me in arms by the 9th of the next month, and are they not some of them set forward already? Ha! You shall see now, in very sincerity of fear and cold heart, will he to the king and lay open all our proceedings. Hang him, let him tell the king. We are prepared. I will set forward tonight."
That's much different than I.
Yes. I only got key phrases.
But you did.
I tried. There were whole parts where I went, no, I've lost it. I'm going to just have to move on.
Everything else, though, was spot on.
You know, it's quite amusing, is a word. The things that do make it through, because I specifically was like, oh, there's so much repetition in this, right? They say plot a million times. It's like a good plot, an excellent plot, friends. And those things didn't come through. It was the more unusual words like barn and Douglas. Like those were the words that made their way through. It's fascinating.
Apparently, uniqueness in memory is really, really quite something.
It worked. It worked for us.
Yes.
If I may ask, Brizo, why did you choose this piece?
So I chose this piece for two reasons. One is because I once performed it for Persephone and Athena, and Athena, our resident scholar, did not immediately recognize it. And I was like, well, if Athena doesn't immediately recognize it, then surely the rest of the vixens are not going to be like, oh, yes, I use that as audition monologue every day. But also because of the repetition and because it's in prose, not in verse. So I thought perhaps not having to think about scansion might be helpful, although scansion is helpful for memory. Having a like ba-dum, 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 ba-dum can be quite helpful.
For something this long, I mean, I am not Hippolyta, so I cannot speak to going second, so maybe you can tell me I'm wrong. I feel like scansion would not help me in this situation.
I don't know if it would. I think rhyming might have helped, but as you can tell, I seemed to focus on but for and hind and Douglas. I am who I am.
A theme, truly.
It tickled me down to my very soul when you, with such confidence, just said "but for" as the first thing you said to Melinoe. But for, I know that's how it starts.
I had the beginning and the end. I do want to point that out.
You did. But that's forward tonight, yes.
A little bit at the end there. All the middle bits, pick and
The
choose.
main themes, kind of.
I think some of the repetition, honestly, made it then harder to distill it back into a single bit, because I certainly could not say it all. And then as I was trying to think of how I would try to remember this, the next thing was happening that seemed more important. And so I focused on that.
Yes,
And
I
then
think.
all of the plot was lost, as it were.
I think if you were like trying to memorize this as a monologue from like you were sitting down and trying to memorize it that way instead of trying to just like bring it forward from your ears, I feel like the repetition would help. But yes, I would agree on that one.
It's also, I realized, much longer than on the page, it doesn't look very long. But I think this happened with the sonnet as well. It's like, oh wow, a sonnet feels long when you're trying to, as Melinoe said, pull it forward from your ears. But also, I think the fact that it's in two voices, right? It's the letter that he's receiving and it's him. Maybe also complicates things.
I will say I was watching the chat and someone in the chat went, "Oh, it's so long." And I went, "Oh, no."
I assume watching my face as I'm listening is like
that too. I was, and then watching Melinoe like braid her braids. I was like, "Oh, we are in for a treat, a true treat."
I also don't think I have laughed like that in 1,000 years. I was just a mess. I had to hide.
I will say, I think it is nearly every season, and in this, I guess includes it. At least once a season, I have something snaps, and I find something so funny, and am inconsolable and start sobbing. This might have been it. So we'll see. Perhaps there will be another one down the road. Who's to say? But that was just so ridiculous.
It's like, and you can't, excuse me. I was like wheezing like an old man. Entirely. And you can't recreate why, right? I'm trying to look back at the text and say, what was it? Because it's just the build-up. It's the build-up from Hippolyta, what she remembers, and then what Melinoe tries to remember, and then what Thalassa tries. It's like, it's just impossible.
Like watching the tension just like slowly creep up towards the edge.
It was just, I think I went in knowing it was going to fail. Like I knew I was going to get it horrifically wrong. And then to just realize just how wrong it was going to be. I lost myself.
I also am going back through the chat just to see, and thank you, friends who laughed along with me. And Selene said she heard the wheezing laughter, so thank you, Selene. But yeah, there's people were really trying to help. I really liked. I think at one point we had Uncle Glenn, right? Oh no, Uncle Owen for Owen Glendower. Oh boy, that one got me. I think that was Melinoe.
Oh, yes, because I just remembered the B from but.
Oh, but for. So but for became oh boy.
Yes.
Also, my lord, my lord, my lord.
My lord, my lord. I knew there was repetition. I just didn't expect repetition.
There is a plan. I like that too. Someone said in the chat, there is a plan. It's like, yes.
It certainly was.
That's something that happens.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Somewhere there are good friends. That was from Books and Barbells. Somewhere there are good friends.
Specifically.
Somewhere there are. Oh, goodness. Wow. Oh.
That was really...
That was something.
My abs are hurting.
Oh.
That's why we memorize our monologues. And
Right.
I was going to say, if anyone ever doubted, because I know I have attended fairs where people are like, "You're so quick, you're so like you're on it." I'm like, "Oh no. Ha! No.
But
I have about 6 jokes just at the ready whenever I need them. And then everything else is rehearsed.
This is highly rehearsed work.
Oh my goodness. Well, darlings, I see we have a bit of time. I would propose, if anyone likes, I could do this and start with a sonnet.
Do we want to do a round 2?
Yes.
Should we reverse the order then?
Let's reverse the order.
What does that mean?
I realized I said that and then it
Well, what if I go to the first position and everybody shifts one? So then Brizo goes to the end.
That works.
So I got both the easiest and the hardest job of the evening.
Right?
I'm so ready.
I will try to pick a song that I never hear anyone do.
Perfect.
All right.
For the record, I will not be doing what Athena tried to do. I am not our resident scholar and will care not at all for the scansion of a sonnet. I'm just putting that out there ahead of time.
Thank you.
Expectations.
Yes.
Good to have.
Managing expectations.
All right.
All right, so we all have to disappear.
Off you go.
Yes, right. Oh, wait, do I stay?
Wait, so Melinoe is going next.
Yes.
Yes. Melinoe will
Hippolyta should have a moment alone with the chat to
Debrief.
explain what it is.
what it is.
All right, well, toodaloo.
Bye, darlings. Anyway, so I have gone, I've searched up some sonnets. Obviously, I'm not going to do an easy one like Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? That would be too much. So I'm going to pick one that I don't seem to hear a lot of people say, but that will be expressive. So if I do some hand gestures to help everyone out, it would not be so rude of me. So let us see. I have found one. So I think I'm going to do sonnet 126. Yes, I think that is what I'm going to do. So I have not looked at this recently, but I am vaguely familiar with how this all will work. And you know what? It will be fine. So let us see. Can I summon Melinoe back? I shall perform this sonnet. Oh, yes. You have returned, my dear. All right.
I'm ready.
I shall do my best to cold read the sonnet to you.
Perfect.
Beginning now. O thou, my lovely boy, who in thy power dost hold time's fickle glass, his sickle hour, who hast by waning grown, and therein showest thy lover's withering as thy sweet self growst. If nature, sovereign mistress over wrack, as thou goest onward, still will pluck thee back. She keeps thee to this purpose, that her skill may time disgrace and wretched minutes kill. Yet fear her, O thou minion of her pleasure. She may detain, but still not keep her treasure. Her audit, though delayed, answered must be, and her quietus is to render thee. Good luck.
Thank you. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm just going to start with "Oh boy" again because I don't remember. Thou sweet or wretched boy, one or the other. Thou art growing. Something happens. There's some nature, and thou growest. I think I zoned out at that point, trying to figure out how I was going to remember that. And then there was a part about this woman, or nature, perhaps. And she pluckest something. Done. That's it. That's all. That's the entire story.
Fantastic. Well then, Brizo. on back. All right, strap in.
I'm strapped.
In theme. Oh, thou wretched boy, perhaps, who growest in nature, possibly birds and bees, who's to say? But you grew, boy. And there were some lovers, perhaps after the birds and the bees, who were withering. There's some little bit of plucking, if you know what I mean. And maybe it's about love. And seed.
Great. I need to pause a second and just say, in the chat, baby boy, thou stayest on my mind is happening.
Exactly what the words were.
So, oh, thou wretched boy, perhaps, who growest in nature, also, and if you know what I mean, who is a growing boy, and also there are lovers who may or may not be birds and bees, who are withering birds and bee lovers in nature with the growing boy. I feel like there was another, if you know what I mean, that I'm not remembering. And then maybe it's about love.
That's so beautiful.
I think I might be realizing that this is not my forte.
You were wonderful, Melinoe. And I will say that there are some key words that made it the whole way through. Would you like to hear the sonnet first?
Yes.
And then we'll discuss what was retained.
Yes, please.
All right. This is sonnet 126. O thou, my lovely boy, in thy power dost hold time's fickle glass, his sickle hour, who hast by waning grown, and therein showest thy lovers withering as thy sweet self growst. If nature, sovereign mistress over rack, as thou goest onward, still will pluck thee back. She keeps thee to this purpose, that her skill may time disgrace and wretched minutes kill. Yet fear her, O thou minion of her pleasure. She may detain, but not still keep her treasure. Her audit, though delayed, answered it must be, and her quietus is to render thee.
How did I miss the entire second half?
This is what happens.
There's a lot of if you know what I means in there.
There are.
What I mean.
I thought it was appropriate.
Yes.
So the boy stayed the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We had the growing and the showing. We had lovers. We had withering. Nature was there. The plucking back survived through 2 rounds. And then after that, she's thou art a minion of her pleasure. And I think the whole, if you know what I mean, overarching structure, I believe you all got that.
Thematically, we were on board. Thematically,
other than us really liking this boy, we skipped that bit.
This wretched boy.
We signed him off very quickly. It's fine.
Well, if he's really just a minion of her pleasure, then surely.
I'm not judging. Fine.
This poor boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
William Shakespeare. Oh boy.
Hey.
Now, I'm quite impressed with how much was retained, especially because I do not believe that's a sonnet I hear very often. So I figured no one would know it.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
It's very good.
I like that. I want to learn this one for real. This I will seduce. I will, with how my milkshake will bring everyone into my yard.
What was the song again? Oh, baby boy, thou stayest on my mind. That was just...
Thou dost fulfill my fantasy.
It's right? Her pleasure minion.
I do
That's
think
the
about
fantasy.
lovely boy all the time. I see him in my dreams that, nature has given to me.
That's our next stream.
Going,
Turning popular songs into Shakespeare.
Yeah.
yes, I just want to pluck him so hard. And yes,
Yes, and that's where the vlog ends.
Who growest and showest.
first.
There was just so much. There was just so much in that.
There's a lot to unpack, truly, truly. I'm surprised that no one has taken song lyrics and performed them in a Shakespearean manner.
I mean, that's sort of what bardcore is.
Yeah. Pretty much. Bardcore is like metal.
It
Right?
doesn't have to be metal. I mean, I like that about it.
That feels accurate.
Hippolyta, if you listen to my Spotify playlist, you will find there is some metal on it.
I'm unsurprised.
No, truly, everyone's Spotify playlist that has been posted thus far is quite entertaining and really gives you a mirror into someone's psyche.
Yes.
I love our Spotify playlist. In fact, I listen to them on the reg, I would say. They're so good.
Chat, if you haven't been to our Spotify playlist, you can just search Vixens on Guard on Spotify, and they're all there, publicly available. So get on it.
Do it. Please.
Although speaking of shameless plugs,
Oh, yeah.
I think we should shamelessly plug. If you enjoyed the show, I hesitate to call it Shakespeare, but if you enjoyed the show,
Oh Boy by William Shakespeare.
Boy.
do feel free to send us just the tip over on Venmo. We are all at Vixens on Guard. You can also get some sweet Vixens merch over on our website at www.vixensonguard.com/shop if you want to go directly to the shopping cart. And then, of course, if you haven't already signed up for our Patreon, make sure you do that. I'm going to give a little shout out to our current patrons. They include Amelia and David and Jake. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying last names. I'm not, just in case. Mary and Juice Studios. Kyle, as well as Sarah and William and Chris, James, Luke and Brianna, Mo, and Snesking, whose username I always mispronounce, but know that I care for you deeply, especially because you are at our highest tier. So
Yes, please join our Fox's Den, as we call our Patreon. We would love to have you there. There's various behind the scenes things you get access to, if you know what I mean. So please join us over on Patreon.
if not, otherwise we'll see you later.
This was joyful. Thank you all. I hope
For us, at least, you know.
I hope it was as joyful for you all out there as it was for the four of us. I will never again have the kind of laughter that I had today, and we were all here to witness it, and as Selene said, hear it. So there that is. So thank you all.
Someone should sample that and put it in a song.
Clip it on Twitch.
That'll just be a GIF that I just replay over and over again as we're just giggling in one year's way at how insane it has got. Oh, anyway, my loves, have a wonderful night. We shall see you all again soon. Mwah!
Besitos.